Hey guys, let's get more news about Warriors, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Iguodala admirably admits he fails to replicate Curry's lifestyle. Everyone wants to be like Warriors superstar Steph Curry. On the court, the 36-year-old is a four-time NBA champion, future Naismith Memorial Hall of Fame selection, and will be remembered for the impact his three-point prowess had on basketball. And off of the court, Curry is a family man and philanthropist who serves as a role model to millions. Even Curry's former Golden State teammate of 8 seasons, Andre Iguodala, wants to be like the Warriors' number 30. In appearing on Mark Jackson's Come and Talk to Me podcast on Friday, Iguodala admitted to the former Golden State coach that trying to be like Curry is a tall task. "I'm trying to be like Steph, and I fail every single day," Iguodala told co-hosts Mark Jackson and Mark Jackson Jr. "It's hard, man. He's true to who he says he is, and he has that killer mentality that people don't even know about. You try to learn his flaws, but they aren't even real flaws. He can be a class clown sometimes, but he's just a genuine human being. He's one of the few people I'd jump in front of a bullet for. I've been security for him a few times, telling people, no autographs today. Back up. He's the one who, you make sure nothing happens to him." It is easy to imagine how hard it is to, quite literally, be like Curry. When Curry works, he works hard. When Curry speaks, people listen. When Curry goes abroad, he comes home with gold. When Curry helps the youth, he donates and raises millions. You get the point. Over Iguodala's 19 NBA seasons, he played with and against the game's biggest names. But Iguodala's effort to live like Curry, even while 2 campaigns removed from being teammates, speaks volumes about the sharpshooter's character. Iguodala is one of the world's most successful athletes away from the court. He has numerous business ventures and as impressive a LinkedIn profile as a basketball resume. But being like Curry? It might be unattainable if not even Iguodala can pull it off. Andrew Wiggins, questionable for Tuesday's Mavs game. A big collision in Sunday's game between the Golden State Warriors and the Oklahoma City Thunder had negative consequences for both players. Chet Holmgren suffered a fractured pelvis when fell down defending an Andrew Wiggins layup. And now Wiggins is questionable for Tuesday's game with the Dallas Mavericks, with a lower back strain. Wiggins missed 2 games earlier in the season with the same injury. He and De'Anthony Melton have both struggled with back issues this season. Draymond Green has had back issues in the past, which is something the Warriors veterans can bond over while spry youngsters like Jonathan Kuminga and Moses Moody throw alley-oops to each other. It's not clear that the collision with Holmgren is what hurt Wiggins' back, but he was moving noticeably slower during the fourth quarter of Sunday's 127-116 win. But the rest of the injury report is as clear as the path to the hoop in Sunday's game with the Thunder centers out. It's as empty of Warriors as the beach at Coney Island after the Riffs apprehended Luther and the Rogues. As for the Dallas Mavericks, Dante Exum is out. Forward P.J. Washington is questionable with a knee injury. Center Derek Lively is questionable with a sprained right shoulder, which has kept him out for the last 4 games, though he practiced on Monday. The upside of a possible Wiggins absence? It might take some motivation away from Klay Thompson, who was famously upset that Wiggins, along with Jordan Poole, got a contract extension after the Warriors won the title in 2022. Thompson is shooting 35.4% from three-point range and 41.8% from the field this season, so actually, the Warriors might prefer having Wiggins there to encourage Captain Klay to fire away at will. If Wiggins doesn't start, who should join Steph Curry, De'Anthony Melton, Draymond Green, and Tracy Jackson Davis in the starting lineup? Blockbuster trade pitch sees Jimmy Butler join the Golden State Warriors. The Golden State Warriors are off to a surprising 8-2 start to the 2024-25 NBA season and find themselves atop the standings in the Western Conference. While the Warriors' hot start has their fans dreaming of another championship run, it's unlikely they'll win it all without having another star next to Stephen Curry. The Warriors tried to land one this past offseason, as they looked into acquiring Paul George and Lauri Markkanen. They failed in their quest to land either of the two and looked set to have a somewhat disappointing 2024-25 campaign, but that's not been the case. It's been an incredible start, and a big move might be in order to build on that and become serious contenders. Meanwhile, out east, the Miami Heat have gotten off to a 4-5 start. The Heat were one of the best teams in the conference over the last 4 years, but it appears their days of being a serious title contender with this core are now over. So, it might be time to part ways with Jimmy Butler, who can be a free agent next summer. According to Zach Buckley of Bleacher Report, the Warriors are the ideal landing spot for Butler, and I think they have a good package that would help Miami restructure that roster as well. While some might think that's not enough for a star like Butler, there are plenty of reasons why his value isn't as high as you might think. For starters, he can leave in free agency next year by opting out of his player option. Secondly, Butler is 35 years old and has a bit of an injury history. So, it's a risk for any team to trade for him, but it might be a worthwhile risk for the Warriors. By acquiring Butler, the Warriors would get what they've been in desperate need of over the last 2 years, a consistent scoring option in the playoffs next to Curry. They came up well short in their title defense in 2023 because the likes of Klay Thompson, Andrew Wiggins, and Jordan Poole failed to step up. Curry not having enough help in the postseason isn't something the Warriors would have to worry about if they have Butler. He averaged 27.1 points, 6.8 rebounds, 5.3 assists, 1.9 steals, and 0.6 blocks per game over his last 2 playoff runs with the Heat. Butler hasn't gotten off to a great start this season, with averages of 16.1 points, 4.8 rebounds, 4.9 assists, 1.5 steals, and 0.3 blocks per game, but he has shown by now that you can rely on him to take things up a notch come the playoffs. He also remains a good defender and would form quite the defensive duo with Draymond Green. My big concern is the injuries, and Butler is currently out with an ankle injury, but I think it's a risk the Warriors have to take. As great of a start as this is, they absolutely need another star next to Curry if they want to win another title. The Warriors are giving up a lot of solid pieces to acquire Butler here as well, but they are one of the deepest teams in the NBA. Head coach Steve Kerr has struggled to give minutes to everyone, and this would solve that small problem as well. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Jimmy Butler? Leave your opinion in the comments.